Hi, it's Kari Mathews of Prairie Quilting. Today we're working on my quilt flower basket. The pattern is available through my website, prairiequilting.com. And today we're going to be working on these drunkard's path units and the pinwheels. So these are the two different borders that are going around our center block. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm going to show you how I cut my templates out. So I have my strip cut and I'm lining up my edges here on the straight edge, okay? And I'm just going to trace. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn, and I'm lining the straight edge up with that line that I just drew, okay? Then I don't have to redraw that line. And then I'll just use my scissors to cut those out. Okay, and for this other template, we're going to do the same thing. We're matching up the straight edge here on the straight edge of our fabric, and then we're just going to go ahead and trace down, trace up, whoops. And I'm using a chalk pencil on this because it's a dark fabric. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn and nest my template and go ahead and trace that. Okay, and then I just keep nesting all the way down. Okay, for this inner border, we're going to be doing a drunkard's path units. Okay, so I have this kind of lime green section here, and I'm finding the center. So I'm folding that in half and giving it a good pinch. And I'm doing the same with the blue. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead. I like to sew with the pie-shaped piece on the bottom and this cave piece on the top. So I'm matching up my center marks that I found, and then I'm gonna put a pin in the center. And then I am matching up the edges here. Okay, so there's my straight edges. Okay, and I'm matching that up. And matching the sides up here again. So they're nice and straight. And then we're gonna go sew. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my needle down, and I'm taking a few stitches, and I'm gonna be using my stiletto here. Okay, I love my stiletto for curved piecing. So I'm just keeping my edges together and guiding the fabric as I go. And you're just easing the fabric in. So if it's off just a little, it's okay. Okay, and take out your pins. Okay, and you're going to be making a bunch of those for the border. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and press toward the green on this. And there is our drunkard's path unit. Okay, so we're going to be making some half square triangles for our pinwheel block. And then we're going to draw a diagonal line, and we'll sew 1/4 inch from both sides of the line. Okay, and then we're going to turn around and come back down the other side. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and trim. I'm just going to cut on that line, and it does not have to be perfect, as you'll see here, because the seam allowance has already been accounted for. All right, and we're going to go ahead and press toward the color, okay? And you'll end up with 4 of these half square triangle units for each of the pinwheel blocks, okay? Okay, and now we'll just go ahead and clip off all these corners here. Okay, so we are doing, it's just a basic pinwheel block, okay? So we're gonna go ahead, it's 4 patch now. We're gonna go ahead and because we've pressed toward the color, those seams are going to nest on the corner there. Okay, so I'm going to put a pin in the corner, okay, and do the same here. All right, let's go ahead and sew. Okay, and to press, I'm just going to go toward that cream. Okay, and you know what? Either way works, but make sure you do it the same way on both sides so that the seams are going to nest. Okay, so going toward the cream. And then when you put those two together, your seams are going to nest, and I can feel those, okay, in the center. They're butting up against each other. Let's go ahead and sew that. All right, and it doesn't matter which way you're going because it's the same on both sides. And there is our pinwheel block. And you're going to make a whole bunch of different colors for a scrappy look. All right, our blocks are finished. I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you soon for another project. Take care.